Okay, this video is going to go out to the White Settlement, Texas Police Department and Corporal Stewart. This right here says White Settlement Police Department. It says Code of Ethics. So I want y'all to be able to see that, hopefully. And it says purpose. The purpose of this order is to establish clear guidelines and supportive norms that direct judgment, problem solving, descriptions making, and make employees aware of the ethical responsibilities of their positions. Okay, so this is the book that I want to kind of go through. There's, a few pages here. There, I highlighted some that were, to me very important. We have a Corporal Stewart in the White Settlement Police Department. He's a married man, and he likes to hang out with a woman by the name of Amber Munoz. She is newly elected city council into White Settlement. So she's a single parent, and this officer likes to hang out at her house while on duty several times a week in the middle of the night, and is not clocked out for lunch or anything else. He's just there, and we're just going to do air quotes, hanging out, playing leapfrog, playing chess, drinking coffee, eating dinner, right? We don't know what he's doing, okay? But here's some things that this says integrity. Here's one of the things I've highlighted that says integrity. The public demands that the integrity of a peace officer be above reproach. Peace officers must avoid any conduct that might comprehend integrity and thus undercut the public's confidence in a law enforcement agency. Okay? I mean, pretty cut and dry there, right? Must have integrity. Pretty simple. And I love where they say the word above reproach. That means perfect. You really got to be perfect. You really got to do the right thing all day, every day, while you have that uniform on and off. Let's go to the section where it says private life. Okay? This is private life right there. So private life, this is a peace officer. A peace officer's character and conduct while off duty must always be exemplary, thus maintaining a position of respect in the community in which he or she lives and serves. The officer's personal behaviors must be beyond reproach. There's the word again. Beyond reproach. He's got to be perfect. He's got to be an angel. He's got to be, the pillar of the community. That's what he has to be. He doesn't have the option of being the married guy, having an affair or hanging out with single women inside their houses while on the clock or off the clock. You get to have that luxury maybe if you're divorced. And you never get to have that when you're on the clock. Okay? So it says peace officers will behave in a manner that does not bring well, it says discredit, did not bring discredit to their agencies or themselves. It should probably be, does not, discredit the the agency. Well, it's kind of discrediting. It's discrediting the agency when he's at that woman's house. Okay, sharing. This is sharing the context of ethical behavior. Sharing it right here. Here's the code. So basically, if you're a supervisor, which is a corporal, you're above, the regular police officer. You're above them, but you are supposed to be able to be a leader. You're supposed to teach them right from wrong. And there's a couple here that I've highlighted. Let's see what I like this. Neutralizing forces in the department's working environment that could undermine ethical behavior. That's one thing. You're not supposed to do that, right? You got to neutralize this. You got to, so you got to make the people under you accountable for your actions. Here is part G: using rewards for ethical behavior and punishment for unethical behavior. What kind of punishment, and if any, did this Corporal Stewart get? Because it's about as unethical as you could possibly get to be hanging out as a married man with a single female in her house at any time, day or night, but in this case, it was after dark. Okay? And here's another one that I really like. It says, setting an example of ethical behavior at all times. Let me reiterate that it says, setting an example of ethical behavior at all times. Avoiding even the perception of questionable acts or words. Did y'all get that? I keep telling them, but I don't think they understand. It says right here, avoiding even the perception of questionable acts or words. So this is their book. This is the Code of Conduct book. Here's the things, and I just highlighted some of these few things that really just grabbed me by the ears and said, hey, what he is doing is wrong. And this was issued. This is the latest issue, April 16, 2017. Okay. This was the latest thing that come up. There's the signature. That's the revised copy that our chief of police in White Settlement set forth. So remember the words. These are the most important words of above reproach. Okay, that's a big word. If you don't know, look it up. I've told you, but look it up in your own words to help you understand. And avoiding even the perception of a questionable act. There's the perception right there. That's under the ethics book. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure to be in law enforcement, you have to have some sort of a college education. And I think ethics is probably one of the classes you must have. Right? I mean, I don't know for sure, but, I don't know if it's just, we got to look. Our city manager of White Settlement. His name is Jeff James. I had to get me a little drink of water there. But his name is Jeff James. He's another one of these people that does not know how to lead, and I think might have an ethics problem. Okay? So we're going to see what happens, because he's in charge of the city. He's in charge of the police department. He's in charge of basically who gets to be hired and fired in our community. And let's see what he does about Corporal Stewart, that loves to hang out at young ladies' houses several times a week while having a ring on his finger and his wife be at home thinking he's out protecting and serving the city. Okay? Let's see what Jeff James, city manager of White Settlement, Texas, does about this situation. Because we already know city council doesn't seem to do anything about Jeff James. Jeff James doesn't do anything about his employees. He allows his employees to talk shit about citizens with no consequences. So now we have his police officers doing immoral things. And let's go back to the words, because I want you to know this. Unethical behavior, right? Unethical behavior. Avoid even the perception of wrongdoing. And they have to be above reproach. And if they're not, they should not be in our city. Let's find somebody else that meets the criteria. Somebody else that has a moral compass. Okay? Let's do this. So I'm calling out to City Council of White Settlement. I'm calling out to Jeff James. I don't know if we can put we have a brand new city council person that was voted into office on the November 5th election, and her name is Amber Munoz. Okay? Her name is Amber Munoz. Guess where it is that Corporal Stewart likes to hang out? You guessed it. Amber Munoz's house. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? So not only do we have an ethical problem with the police, we have an ethical problem with the city council member. I'm not 100% sure she's even been, put into office yet, but she was voted. She won the election, and she already has an ethical problem that needs to be dealt with. You can't get up on the city council board, and try to make change and do things and all this and, be better than everybody else while you are doing things that are not ethical by having a married man in your house all alone. Okay? We can read between the lines, can we not, people? We can read between the lines. Because I know one thing, I'm married. I'm not going to some single woman's house to hang out with her for any reason at all. Because if somebody sees me, they're going to think, what was he doing? Why was he over at her house all alone, coming out in the middle of the night? Right? Nobody, you don't do that. You don't do that as a police officer. You don't do that as a human being. You don't do that as a Christian. right? You don't do that. You have to be above reproach. Okay? So, anyways, let's spread the word. Let's spread this everywhere. Let's spread it and see how far this will go and see the actions that happen. Let's just see what happens. Thank y'all for listening. Have a great day. God bless. Happy Thanksgiving.